definitely. I think if you've got the finances behind you and you've got a well-structured plan and sort of, gone through multiple different scenarios, then it might be the solution for your business. I mean, in terms of, people who are in favor of ERP vendors and that sort of one ERP solution, and they argue that they get more stability, and then a best of breed sort of vendor might say that they offer sort of innovation and sort of some more flexibility. I mean, the two questions, which I know they might be hard to answer, but who's right, and how does the business balance agility without sort of creating chaos?
Yeah, so nobody is right in that case because you are talking to sales and marketing people, to be completely honest, and they don't know a lot. Okay. The problem is they just don't know what they don't know. When you talk to the real implementation guy, they do not talk like that. They don't use words such as innovation. Again, innovation does not have much of the meaning, to be completely honest. Unless we are talking about a specific innovation that is going to add some sort of business value to your business, then, innovation makes sense. But innovation, if you talk to a CFO, they might not necessarily care for innovation. Sure, you want to be ahead in the market, you want to utilize AI, but as long as you can justify the business value again, right? So, in those conversations, I don't think anybody is right. So what you need to do in those cases is, when you hear the pitches such as this, is that, again, define your business model, define your business processes, define your enterprise architecture, and then figure out which system category is going to meet your need. ERP could be the answer, best of breed could be the answer, depending upon what you are trying to accomplish, how much budget you have, what you care for the most. But unless you define those objectives, 90% of these people, okay, who are doing these projects, who fall for these pitches, if you ask them, okay, just write me simple 5 objectives for this project, can you write that? Okay, when you ask them to write, you are never going to get the objective that are going to be technically and financially feasible. They are not going to be realistic, right? We generally follow something called a SMART. I'm pretty sure you are familiar with that framework to define the objectives, right? So S is going to be specific, M is going to be measurable, A is going to be attainable, R is going to be realistic, and T is timely. That's the SMART framework, right? So whenever you want to define any sort of goals, we ask, this is the first exercise that we do with every single customer of yours. Okay. And when we ask them, okay, give me something, we get some vague dreams, some sort of, wish list. You cannot implement that. Nobody can work on that, to be completely honest. So the first thing that we need to do is, okay, I'm going to teach you how to rewrite your goals, how to rewrite your business requirements. And that is the first foundation before you get to any sort of complex topics, which is going to be ERP versus best of breed. That's probably, PSG. But we need to first cover the grade A or grade 1, I guess, not A. In this case, that, okay, you are going to go through these things first, learn how to write the objectives, because that is the foundation of any project, because before you make any sort of major decisions for your technology. Once you do that, then the next phase is going to be, okay, define your needs. Okay, you really need to follow SMART framework when you are trying to define needs, and then you are going to obviously define the data layer in terms of how that is going to work.